Hi guys, welcome to another video tutorial with me, Clarice. In this video, we are going to learn how to do these gorgeous purple, light greenish sort of florals, and they are called anthuriums. I think another name would be a peace lily. I'm not quite sure, just because these are purple, but peace lily typically does look like this. So maybe it is a peace lily, not sure. Maybe Google it? I don't know. So this is what we're going to be doing. This image is a reference from the Flower Color Theory book. And for those who have the Flower Color guidebook, you can actually reference this gorgeous minimalistic flower on page 336. So once again, this is what the front of that book looks like, the Flower Color Guide. I've been doing quite a few videos on florals from this book. So if you've been following along, you can turn your book to page 336 and follow along. So really quickly, I'm going to walk you through my supplies. I am using my Bao Hong watercolor paper. And I am going to be using two brushes for this. The number 6 Princeton Neptune round, and then the ZenART Supplies miniature number 1 for little details. And then for my colors, I'm going to use this gorgeous palette by KMS Watercolors, and it's called In Bloom. And it's got all the colors that we need to create this pretty flower right here. All right, so I've got water handy, I've got some paper towel handy on the side, and we are ready to begin. So I'm going to quickly put aside the book here. Most of you have a reference for it already. And we're going to, this way you can just see my sheet and there's no interference. So I'm also going to keep palette handy on the side just in case I need to be doing some mixing. And we're going to start off by using the number 6. And I will start off by getting a very light, probably like 20%, like 20% color, 80% water, a light version of this really nice little orchid. It's called Orchid. And I've got a very similar color on my palette here already, so that's okay. So I'm getting a lot of water, mixing it in there. And then we're going to go in and paint that oval, kind of like teardrop sort of shape. Okay, so what I will do is, this is a very, very light version because we need the tip to be more of a green later on, and I'm going to use likely the moss green right here. I think that would be perfect. We're going to do the base first with the shape and then put in some of the darker mauve or purple, and then we're going to go and do the top with the green. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start with a pointed tip at the top. And then I'm kind of doing this, pressing down with my brush to really get a nice lay of water. And the beauty about doing this flower is, like, while you can have a reference image for it, you don't really, it doesn't have to be perfect in terms of, it doesn't have to be spot on. These flowers are so organic and whimsical in shape a little bit. When I mean whimsical, because they kind of fold and bend in different areas. So you could do one in whatever way your mind is, I guess, directing you in terms of folds and whatnot. Mine is looking more like a spade. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a fold here. I don't know if you can see that. So now I've got this nice area of water. I'm going to push all that pinky mauvey color that I've laid down towards the bottom of the flower. Okay. And then I'm going to go in, get some of my mauve. I'm going to get some more of it. The orchid, it's called Orchid. And then I'm just going to start from the bottom. Actually, no, let's start from the top and kind of pull it downward. And almost in a sort of stripy fashion. Now the center of this has a little bit, like, there's variations. There's like alternating white and purple if you really look at the flower. So if you want to go ahead and take your smaller brush with just water on it. Just go all the way down the center and kind of just pull off the color from your sheet. So this way you've got a very clear center that is light. And then I'm going in with this darker purple and I'm just lining up the bottom edges. It's giving me that beautiful, beautiful blend. And what I'm going to do is kind of end this at the top here. And we're pulling it all the way down. And we can go darker at the bottom here. And we want to leave a little bit of a white area here because this is where the middle portion of this flower is going to be, called a stamen, I believe. There we go. And I'm just going to extend this purple mauvey color there. Again, I'm going back. I'm going to get some of this color, the lighter version, and I'm just going to add more stripes coming downward. Just a little bit down the center here. And I'm allowing the color to do its thing of just sort of blending. I'm going to go take a little bit of that darker color, or maybe even just go with the lighter color and just add more strokes in there. And then I'm just going to do one more of that dark, just to kind of really highlight or give you that nice little dark from the top, light from the top, dark to the bottom, sort of gradient-like effect, and leaving that center pretty nice and clean. Again, we've sort of colored in our center where the stamen should go, so I'm just going to go ahead and just swipe off some color and dab it on my paper towel to the best of my capabilities. Perfect. Now this is dried up a little bit, so we're going to cheat a little, go back in and just dampen it a little bit more, and I'm pulling it down. Now we're going to go in and get some of that green. There we go. Just want a little bit of green. If you mix it with a little bit of that yellow, I think you'd get that perfect color. And I'm just going to lightly touch it at the top and slowly bring it downward. Because while, yes, it is green, it's like literally just at the top, and it sort of kind of blends in with some of the mauve. And I think that is good enough. And then what I'll do is just go in. I just want to get a little bit more of the green in there, just to get another variation. And I'm just dabbing ever so lightly. Now this is, I went back in, got some of the green, but I didn't get any of the yellow on it. And I'm leaving that center to be white again. Okay. And then if you feel like you've got too much green there, just take your miniature brush and with just water on it, just kind of lightly swipe upward and take away color from the center. And then you can just blend in the rest over here. All right, that's perfect. So now we have our base. We can just sort of go ahead and mix a little bit of the green and the dark purple to do our stem, because the stem is like a dark purple greenish sort of color. So I'll mix the iris, and I'm mixing spring grass to get this greenish purple hue. Almost looks like a wine. And then I'm just going to start from here and then just come all the way down. There we go. And then what I'll do is just get some leftover green to sort of add it in at the bottom of the stem, because it does sort of start off in that hue and then it goes off into like a green color. So there we go. Perfect. Love how that's turned out. Now we just do the absolute center, and that's fairly easy too. I'm going to use my miniature brush, and we'll get the darkest purple. We have to make sure that this is completely dried up. so that when we go in and paint the shape in, that it doesn't flare out and give us a blend, because we're not looking for a blend over here. So maybe I'll just wait a couple of seconds and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. What I have done is I've mixed some of the iris, and I just mixed it in with a little bit of the cornflower blue right here, and it's given me like a slightly darker purpley hue, and that's right there in my palette. And we need a nice thin brush for this so that we can go in and paint that shape first and then color it in. So I'm going to start just a little bit above over here, leaving a little bit of that space. And then I'm going to lightly go in. And I want to stop, say, over here. And this is where I'm going to come back down. And then close off the bottom here. And we are done that. So now if you actually look at the image, what you'll notice is that the edges of this stamen, yeah, or the center of the flower, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually going to extend this slightly more, make it a little more tapered at the edge. Has like, it's got little dots on the side. So what I'm going to do is making sure that I've got bumps to the side actually. So I'm going to make sure that I've gotten the tiniest, most, I guess, pointiest, is that a word? Tip. And then I'm going to go lightly to the edges and just add a little bit of bumps, tiny bumps. So just like that. So I'm just very lightly kind of adding. I mean, this is the size, this is the number 1, and this is seemingly thicker, but it's getting the job done. And I'm going to zoom in as soon as I am finished doing this so you guys can see the little ridges or the bumps that I've given our center here. Perfect. And then if you actually look at the image even closer, all throughout the middle as well, there's little hints of ridges. So if you actually wanted to, I think maybe try getting a little bit of some gouache with a lighter purple and lightly going in and doing that, or even using a Posca white marker maybe. I don't know. That might be a more startling effect. Not quite sure. But essentially, this is what we have. This is the whole flower. Now, you don't quite see the center, the bottom as much, but I would like to have a little bit of a shadow there. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the darker purple, and I'm just going to lightly add a couple of strokes here. And then I'm going to smudge it out with some water. And I want to just have this look like it is a bit of a shadow happening. Just like that. Maybe even swipe off some of the color. Really give it some nice shading at the bottom. This is how you kind of blend things in, and maybe even take off some of the color if you feel like there's too much. Perfect. And that's that. So that is literally the whole video. I am going to zoom this or bring this up here so you can see the little ridges that I was able to get. And that's the whole flower, guys. Notice the green and how it's got a nice pretty blend, but we've got white there, and that's mainly because when I went in with the purple, I concentrated doing the strokes more at the bottom and then kind of allowed it to just fade into the dampness towards the green and kind of help the green come down some more too. So it's a great exercise on leaving areas with white space and also swiping off color from your sheet. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit that like button if you did. Please do follow me on Instagram and Facebook and tag me in your work. I would love to see how these turned out. And if you do one or you do three or you make it like your own little composition, I am excited to see your work, guys. So please do tag me. And please do subscribe to my channel so you can always get notified of every time there's a new video and you can follow along with me. So thanks again for watching, guys, and we will chat soon. By the way, everything is listed in the description below, so please feel free to check out the supplies there if you are keen on finding out where to get any of these things here. All right, thanks guys, bye.